don't feel that way at all. I feel like maybe personality wise, I guess I don't even know if that's true. This is more subjective, but I feel younger. Someone we were just talking about this at that bachelor party. I feel like I jam so much into a year, so much life into a year that I feel like I'm getting my money's worth. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I'm not just like
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
so many people that are like, "Fuck, I'm already turning 29 or whatever." Like they're just so attached to the age that they're turning. It's just because they're looking
yeah.
at the clock all day and just watching life
That's
pass
such a
by them.
that's such a good way to explain it. I feel like I'm getting my money's worth in this life.
Yeah, I just thought of that right now, but
Knowledge and the talent that my mother had born to her equals a duck. What is it, Trey? Yo, man, that's the formula.
did you watch back the Dondo episode?
I Yeah, I did.
What did you think about it?
I thought it was really good. I think he's like so easy to talk to. I felt it like it was natural. I felt, especially for somebody that I didn't know too, and to have somebody that you knew more, I felt like we both were able to actually be really involved in the conversation. And like, I mean, he's such a character though too. So I think he probably did most of the work, you know?
No, I was getting like emotional almost editing it because I'm like, I've watched this dude
Yeah.
knowing him as long as I have and us having a productive recorded conversation about all the different stuff that he's doing was,
Yeah.
I don't know, felt very full circle. And you getting to ask questions, not knowing
Yeah.
full context about everything. It seems so natural and so expected knowing what I know from him. But
Yeah.
hearing him give the details and his brother popping in and
Yeah. The brother part was great too.
yeah, he's mid cut. He runs, he runs over to the camera quick. It's
Yeah.
gonna haunt me
I also,
forever. It's gonna haunt me forever calling him Isaiah. It's just like, what did you call me that one podcast that you were on when you said my name wrong?
oh, Casey Edwards.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Um,
Anthony's long lost brother.
but with that, I think like too, even he, you said you were getting emotional from it, but it also just like inspired me to take like the small steps. Like I think he made things seem simple with like where he's gotten, and he's just kind of like, you just figure it out. You just keep going and keep trying. And like now following him on Instagram too, seeing him on his motorcycle every day too, like you can tell he's just a joyful person. And like I thought that came through. And yeah, I'm excited to talk to him more and even to re-listen to it one more time. So
Very natural. Those are the type of conversations that I like to have. Is very natural and it's inspiring because of the work he's put in and the way he's able to naturally explain it.
yeah,
He's not some, trying super hard to be an entrepreneur, to build this big empire, make a lot of money. He's done the things that he's passionate about. He's been himself throughout, and you can tell by how naturally he's able to explain it that it's true to
yeah,
him and true to the person that he is. And I don't know,
yeah,
it's just funny, man. He cracks me up. He's such a good dude, but it's just funny listening to him in a somewhat professional setting.
yeah, yeah. No, it's great. All
So what
right.
else is up?
Cool. So, well, for this episode, you asked me questions last time. I have some hard hitting questions for you.
You're in the driver's seat today, or I'm in the
Yes.
driver's, or you're in the driver's seat. I'm in the spotlight.
Yeah, exactly. So this first one is a crazy question. If you found out
Strap in.
pigeons were actually government employees clocking in every morning, what part of society would suddenly make the most sense to you?
Part of society would suddenly make the most sense to me. What does that mean?
You think about it. You let me know.
Give me some sort of play off
I'll
of it, like
I'll
something
restate
that
the
we
question.
something that we don't currently understand that pigeons having access to would help me understand better, or pigeons being government officials would help me understand better.
Yeah, maybe it's about how the government thinks about people or what we know about people or where technology actually is at.
Hmm. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a literal sense, like them having, because are you saying that now we have eyes in the sky kind of a thing, so we're able to see things at more of a macro level? I'm trying to understand like how to answer this question.
Can be anything you want, man. It's your
Hmm.
world.
All right, answer or ask me it one more time. If pigeons were
We
government
found out
official,
pigeons were actually government employees clocking in every morning. What part of society would suddenly make the most sense to you?
I don't know, man. I don't. You give me your answer and what I don't. I'm literally blanking on even how to answer this. Like being able to see people's travel to work patterns every day, and that's based on where cops are sitting on the roadways to pull people over.
So basically, for this question, I asked ChatGPT, I said, give me a question that would help you, that you could ask that's completely random, that would make you understand how people think when they answer questions.
No, I mean, I feel like these are the questions I'm worse. I'm the worst at answering, just because I'm trying to think about it super like technically and think about what
Yeah.
a pigeon would do as a government official, much less like because I'm thinking about them as uh now we got numbers, we got eyes in the sky, we got we got pigeons watching us on our day to day that are getting access to information that you might not otherwise get if like a phone line wasn't tapped into or someone wasn't at my
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
Um,
Where my head goes is like, I think of the Incredibles movie, and when he's on the island and he runs up and the bird sees him, and then it's like, alert, alert, alert.
mm,
And for me, it's like, okay, maybe, especially because I live in Chicago and there's so many pigeons, it's like, damn, they really are tapped in and know they have these pigeons out here because they know where crime's at and they alert people. Also, I heard this thing recently, maybe it was us talking about this, but it was saying how, like, if you read someone's chat GPT or like their AI conversations, it tells way more about them than like anything else could. And so, like, if you're cussing at chat, calling it a dumbass, like, what do you do at home with your partner when no one's around?
totally based on like how you ask questions and
Yeah.
when you need more information and yeah, like the language you use when speaking to it. It's funny
Yeah.
too, because since using Claude, I don't know if you still use chat more, if you use Claude more often, but sometimes when you go into Claude now, it gives kind of an overview or recap
Hmm.
of who you are and the purpose
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
what you use it for. And at first, Claude for me was just strictly business purposes. So all it knew was, hey,
Yeah.
you work in SEO, you conduct audits, whatever. But now it's like, oh, you work in SEO, but you're interested in working out so I can just see it gradually starting to chip away. And I think there's some like style choices in there too, like based on how I speak and what I need, what kind of output I need from it,
Yeah.
and things like that. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. I'm sure there is some similarities, especially as it gets more
Yeah.
widespread. People
Hmm.
are going to start to see similarities between, I
For
mean,
sure.
even, yeah, it's crazy.
Well, even I noticed like with some people, they were saying crazy things to it, and I was like, then I saw some stuff happen in their life, like with a partner and stuff, and I was like, and how they reacted, and just like how that upset them and stuff. Like basically like down and out from work, like just like wouldn't, talk to anybody, just pissed off. And I was like, whoa, okay. The way you're speaking in there is how you probably truly feel most days.
I 100% first of all, but I want to know if you feel this way and maybe not since you go into the office. Actually,
Yeah.
probably assuming not since you go into the office and since you live in downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
But in the past couple of weeks with travel and just with out and about experiences, I've been having these moments of, wow, people are crazy. I feel like I'm in a bubble most of the time
Yeah.
and forget how people are.
Yeah.
Do you ever experience that, or do you think since you're, walking to work and stuff, you see such diverse and sometimes insane people that you're used to it? Or do you ever have interactions that you think, wow, I really just am in my bubble. I usually don't have this energy around me, and now it's bursted.
I mean, there's definitely moments in time where I'm like, whoa, I forgot this was a thing. Like, I forgot people could be like this. Um, yeah, but I sometimes, I'm definitely in the bubble where I'm just walking, but there's like, especially too in Chicago, there's different versions of crazy too. So it's like, what's the crazy that you see on the side of the road that is just like actually that person needs help? And then there's like the crazy where you're like, that person might still need help, but they're way more functioning, and I don't want that to be around me at all.
Yeah. And I'll give an example too, because so the first thing that happened was like probably 2 weeks ago now. Before I went to Florida, I got a new phone. I went to the Verizon store, and there was three different people that came into that Verizon store that was there that were absolutely furious about something.
Yeah.
The first dude that came in was probably 4'6", 4'7", bald on top, long,
Six,
teeny.
like four.
Yeah, like extremely small.
Yeah.
Huge beer belly, bald up top, long hair
Yeah.
on the sides. Comes in, has this piece of paper and like throws it at the guy behind the desk and
Shut
starts,
up.
I swear to God, you're gonna fucking figure this bill out. I drove all the way down here, blah, blah, blah. Starts like cussing this guy out. And the
Yeah.
dude was like, sir, we're not gonna help you if you're gonna come in and start acting rude. He's like, yes, the fuck you are. Just kept going crazy. And at some point throughout the time that he was there, every single other employee got involved to try to take down the
De-escalate. Yeah.
situation. And he was, again, to make a long story short, he was being completely irrational, was mad that they were saying they couldn't serve him because he didn't have his ID. And they're like, how are we going to confirm it's you? And he's like, well, why would I try to pay a bill for someone else at Verizon? But it was examples like that. And then, I mean, I went to like Florida this past week, and then I was in Lake of the Ozarks for a bachelor party. Again, around different people than I'm usually with in both of those situations. And I don't know. I feel like spending so much time in my little Linden Hills bubble,
Yeah.
you see all this stuff behind your screen and the arguments people have and the political climate. And sometimes I just get pulled out and I'm like, oh, I forget people actually exist like this in the real world
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
I don't know, just something that was top of mind.
Those are crazy, crazy experience, especially the 4-6 guy. I've never understood like getting super mad at like a customer service person, because
100%.
that is like the last way that they'll help you.
Well, and it's like this retail associate has no idea about your past
Yeah.
issues and the struggles you've had with the phone calls, and
Yeah. Yeah.
people just think the world owes them shit sometimes, which I think is crazy, but that was personified in that and a few other experiences. So I just was
Yeah.
curious if the life that you live and being out and about, you have those
Yeah.
experiences too, or if I'm just really isolated over here.
No, I think they're few and far between typically. But speaking of crazy climates,
Yeah, give me something that's not some weird hypothetical pigeons as government officials question, because I'm gonna fail this interview if they're all like that.
so have you seen anything about the Hantavirus?
Mm-mm.
So
What's that?
basically, I think that's how you pronounce it, but so
The
there was
hint.
this ship, I think it was on like the coast of West Africa. Um, but basically, this person was in Chile and got sick that came in touch with like some rodents. I think it was like a rat. Um, and then on this ship, this person died because of this virus. And then now there's like 8 confirmed cases. It's basically like COVID, but deadlier. That they're already comparing it to that just because like it's an outbreak.
Yeah,
Um, there's like a few people in the US, there's a few people um there's,
Singapore.
yeah, one in Switzerland, and basically like they're concerned because one lady was a stewardess. She was getting on a flight, was sick already, and then was about to get on another one and they didn't let her. But they're worried that like there could be an outbreak. And right now they're claiming that there's nothing like to be worried about, but it is like a deadly virus if you come in contact with it. Uh, my question for you though is like, do you think that there could be another COVID, and like what, especially right now in the world, like COVID happened what, 5 years ago now?
Like 2020
Um,
ish.
yeah, and like to now live through that once, like how do you think the world would respond to that?
I mean, first of all, I definitely think there could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'd like to think that we were pretty prepared or as prepared as you could be for an outbreak like that to happen within reason. If it's been as long as it's been since something like that's existed, obviously
Hmm.
there's a process to shutting businesses down, keeping people a certain
Yeah.
distance from each other, setting curfews, having people work from home,
Yeah.
masks. Again, I'm sure this varies by what the virus is, but I mean, if you would have asked me that before COVID, it's not something that we could have conceptualized because it's not something that we'd
Yeah.
previously experienced. But knowing how quickly the lockdown essentially happened when COVID happened, I have to believe that it could be done again. And from like a scientific perspective, outbreak wise, I again don't know how locked down we are for stuff like that to not spread like COVID did, since it's everything's so different. Um, but I don't know. I just think back to COVID times in 2020 or 2021, how
Yeah.
quickly it went from, hey, we're going to do a practice work from home situation just in case for whatever
Yeah.
crazy reason this gets widespread enough that it impacts us, to, hey, we're never going back into the office again.
Yeah.
So I have to believe that. I mean, it's like you said, 6 years, 5 years isn't too far removed.
Hmm.
And we're already kind of operating in this weird
Yeah.
in between where most people work from home. There's, I think, a different taboo around public sickness even than there was then. Like you hear someone coughing in public, you're like, oh, they got COVID. Um, so again, I don't know what the symptoms or the sickness actually is in this case and how it impacts
Hmm.
people's actual health and how they're dying from it. But I've got to believe it would be a little less foreign for us to suddenly be on lockdown than it was 5 years ago.
Would you like another situation like that where you're locked in the house?
I was thinking about that before you even asked me this question. And personally, sickness aside, death aside, what it does to the economy aside, maybe there's some privilege in me even axing some of that stuff in my answer, but I loved COVID because I liked being at home. I feel like it was one of the most productive times of my life. I am a homebody. I enjoy being inside, and I mean not just being inside, but being on my own kind of time. And it was a very introspective time period because we didn't have a choice. The FOMO element is removed when everybody's inside. Again,
Yeah.
a very privileged way to answer this question. Of course, I hope that that doesn't happen for uh, health and
Yeah.
well-being purposes, but I liked COVID from a productivity and introspective standpoint. So
Yeah. No,
bring it
I
on.
loved I can't I can't lie. I'm not going to give as political as of an answer as you, but I loved it. I thought it was great. I read lots of books. I was literally at my uncle's house by myself all day, every day, and I would get high whenever I wanted. I'd watch a lot of Naruto.
Hell yeah.
Um, yeah, I was doing things, but now it would probably be even better for me because now I have like an idea of like how I could be even more productive. Um, but I was chilling, bro. I was good.
Does any part of you think though that you'd be chilling less because you might be overwhelmed with the time that you have to spend and how to spend it?
I'd be cool, and I'd probably go back to Green Bay. Honestly, it'd be nice. Just chill with my family and Steph's family. Um, but now I'd have to pay for an apartment. Like if Steph and I were just stuck in my Chicago apartment, and like that would get to be a lot, I think, because we don't have a lot of space. So like you can hear each other at all moments of every day because like
Yeah.
it's a one bedroom, but there's like the open part. So like even if someone's in the bedroom, you still hear everything in the kitchen or in the living room. So like, but
I can
being
confirm.
yeah, being in Green Bay wouldn't be bad because then I have my cottage and stuff too, so I can just go there and sit outside or go on walks and stuff. I do have the park though at my new house, so like going to Grant Park, Millennium Park would be cool. In the water there.
I wonder how that would work living downtown in a big city like that. Do they just like police the streets and say, "Hey, we're on lockdown. You're not supposed to be out here," or could you still just kind of go out and mess around but not go into businesses that are closed and stuff?
Like so I remember being in LA for COVID and like there was people out on the streets like doing whatever they wanted. I think most people just like locked themselves in their house, but there wasn't any mandates on like whether they could be outside. Like I was watching this show, it's called The 100 Foot Wave,
Mm.
and basically they're like big wave surfers, and there's this place called Nazareth, which is like where the largest waves are. And for COVID that season, like they let all the surfers come there. And the first day though that they were out with a huge storm, there's like 25,000 people up on the ledge, and they were in Spain too. So like there's an insane amount of people there, and they then like shut down like surfing, and they shut down how many people could go for a little while until like a couple weeks went by, and then they like had to mandate it that way. But I don't think that's how it worked really in the States. So
I'm pretty envious of my uh how old were we then? 22 or something? 22-year-old self and the lack of responsibility I had. I know we talked about this on previous episodes just about times when we were the most clear-headed and the most introspective and the we had the ability to be because we had nothing else occupying our time really. But I had a Snapchat memory that came up a couple of weeks ago, and it was me exactly like you explained. I didn't even own a bike. I used to take my dad's bike out on the park reserve over by the house that I grew up, and it just was laying on this hill in this field, and it just like the uh scene was kind of terrible, honestly. Like everything was dead and there was like water out there, which was kind of cool. but I remember
Yeah.
that just feeling amazing and being outside, and it was
Yeah.
at a point in the fall, but we my parents and I had bonfires every single weekend, and the only time we left the house was to do liquor store runs. And I remember this my parents have one of those Google Homes at their house that just slide shows
Yeah,
photos all
yeah.
day, and there's one of me coming and I'm wearing, like, sunglasses. I buzz my hair, I remember, on the deck at the time, and so I
Yeah.
had a buzz head and, like, was wearing sunglasses, and I just had a box full of booze and beer, and it just was, I don't know, simple times, man, like,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
stress, getting good workouts in, up early. That's when
Yeah.
the kinda daily stoic thing was big for me. I was meditating in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know,
It's
simpler
crazy.
times.
It's crazy to think about how at that time that was like the highest drinking rate of the population.
You
And
bet.
now, 7 years later, we're at the lowest drinking percentage I think that they've had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, drinking's going way down.
Damn, I'm trying to drink more.
Yo, low key, Steph and I have talked about that. Like this year is kind of like our party year.
You think so?
Yeah, I feel like for so many different times in my life, I've been like, yeah, I'm done drinking. Like I started out the year kind of thinking that same way, and then I realized I was like, okay, I'm an adult. Like I can handle myself now. I don't have to worry about this. But like I don't think it's like starting kind of right now. It'll probably start more in the summer, but like we need to have fun. Like Steph's little sister asked us like, when was the last time you went to the club? Like, do you guys go all the time? And we're like, no, we haven't been to the club. Like, what? And I was thinking about it, and I'm like, why haven't we gone to the club like to dance? Like, we'll go to like DJs and stuff to dance, but that used like 2000s, everybody was going to the club and actually dancing, you know?
Yeah, I feel the exact same, and I should clarify too, when I say I wanna drink more. I am in the same boat as you, like, I just wanna have fun and have balance and find a new version because like you said, you sound like such an old head when you're like, "I haven't gone out, like, I don't go out," and I am
Yeah,
very aware of what comes with drinking too much and how much it throws you out of my schedule and my sleep sucks and I feel shitty, whatever. Super aware of that, but
yeah,
I think that, the memories made and the fun had, again, maybe even leaving drinking out of the picture here, but just being spontaneous and being able to go out and about and do different shit. Although I do still enjoy prioritizing my routine and health and whatever, like, I don't know. There's gonna be a time where I got nothing but time to prioritize that, and I'm gonna regret
yeah,
wasting opportunity for moments like that when I'm 20, 30 years down the line. So,
yeah,
I don't know, some weeks I'm like, "Let's have a drink on a Tuesday." I tell Caroline too, especially now that it's getting warm out. We have a sick brewery that's 3
yeah.
blocks down the street that we like to go to and
Hmm.
find a version of having fun and having a drink here and there and not taking things too serious.
Yeah, I agree. Don't worry, I got after it for both of us last Friday too.
Bro, who are you telling? I was
Oh
at a
yeah, you were at a
bachelor
bachelor
party.
party.
And that part of me is saying, I never wanna drink again. You talk
Yeah.
about clubbing and stuff, I was living my college years times 10 on Saturday specifically. We were up until, like, 4 AM.
Yeah.
So, that I feel like I needed a break from, but it is my birthday tomorrow, so might have to rip that Band-Aid
Yeah.
off again and run it back
Get
one more
crazy.
time. You gotta
Yeah, you
do it,
better get
man.
crazy.
Yeah, this
Um,
this May is, oh, you good?
yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good. Sorry, I thought I lost you for a second. But, yeah, I'll get crazy for sure.
This May you're getting crazy?
Just a busy May. I don't know. Yeah, I was in Florida, then I was in the Ozarks, and then it's my birthday weekend, and then the Baby Keem concert is next week.
Oh, you
Man,
about to be lit for that.
And then we're doing this bar crawl that we do, or the Baby Keem concert is until the 20th, but we do this bar crawl every year in Northeast. That's
Yeah.
next Saturday. So I'm like, fuck. Told myself I was good for a minute, but ever since I've been back, I've been dialing back in though. I haven't worked out a ton, but golf league started this week and then I have softball tonight and I've been sleeping great. I've been
Yeah.
having amazing sleep. Shout out to Flonase Sensimist. Don't know if you've tapped in, but that changed the game for me, so highly recommend.
That's just for allergies, right?
Yeah, you don't have allergies?
No, I do, but I feel like all the stuff I take never works. That's like the thing with the green top.
It's the same brand, it's just a different kind of version of it, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the same ingredient, but bless you, you jinxed it, talking about allergies.
No, my nose. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been touching my nose nonstop because I have been like something's been bothering me.
Bro, I would recommend giving it a try. It's like a less I don't think invasive's the word, but the spray is less intense, so it kinda just hangs out
Yeah,
up there instead of having to like snort it like a regular nasal spray. But as soon as I switched, I was doing Allegra or something before, and I switched to Xyzal and started using that Flonase Sensimus before I went to Florida.
yeah,
And we've gone down the nasal surgery and whatever breathing rabbit hole all
yeah.
these times. But now, bro, I've been able to breathe out of my nose significantly better, have been able
I'm
to
gonna
mouth
try that
tape
then.
every night, like, way better than I felt in years. So
Damn, I'll try that. You also know when you like put it in, you're supposed to like point at your back ear, right? You
mhm,
know that, right? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I guess maybe not those, but like, just the saline ones are kind of designed that way, so when you put it up, it, like, sprays.
yeah,
So, again, I don't know, my allergies are just bad, and, like, that on top of having an effed up nose was never a good combo, but it
yeah,
makes me feel good knowing that my nose isn't messed up and it's just my allergies blocking me from breathing. So if I can keep those
yeah.
dialed in, then I can't be stopped.
Be golden, man.
Exactly.
Speaking of athletic prime, like you're
Mhm.
saying, have you been watching the finals?
Yeah. I mean, primarily the Wolves series, but I watched the New York game last night, or was it last night or 2 nights ago?
Yeah,
Because the Wolves got blew out last night. I was asleep by the
they
second
got
half of that, but
they got torched. So who do you think is winning it? I know you're a Wolves fan. Are the Wolves can Ant Man do it this year or what?
hold on, I'm gonna look up who's left in the
It's
so I can
Spurs,
have an informed
Wolves, Cavs. Um,
Knicks, 76ers, Pistons.
Pistons. Yep.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I don't want OKC to win because fuck SGA. um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got to root for the Timberwolves. I don't think that they'll be able to. Fuck, I can't say that as a fan, but we just have such a random thrown together team. Not that DiVincenzo is going to lead us to a championship, but
Yeah.
um,
He's been there.
yeah, he's been there, and I just feel like he's a solid glue for the boys.
Yeah.
And it's nice having Edwards back, but I never am gonna want to live and die by Ant. Uh,
Hey, what about McDaniels, bro?
hold on.
Terrence Shannon,
Yeah, McDaniels is dope. Terrence Shannon is dope. In Doku or whatever that guy's last name is, that came
Io.
from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sick, but I don't. Again, I missed most of the second half yesterday, so I don't know how much he showed up.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like we need some big dogs, like, especially after watching the game against San Antonio yesterday, they can blow us out. And I like to be optimistic now that we're coming home. They got the energy on their side. You hope that things can shift a bit. I just don't know if it's what's gonna take them um, to
Championship.
the end here.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at
Well,
some of the
if it
squad
makes you
that's
feel
left.
any better, Giannis hyperextended his knee the year they won the playoffs too, and Ant just did it. So they're both freaks of nature. So for me, I haven't watched a whole lot, but the teams that stick out to me is obviously the Thunder. I'm a Timberwolves fan, so I have them, and like Ant is Ant, and I think he's close to getting his title. And then the other one is the Pistons. I watched them. Cade Cunningham is crazy. The other day,
Yeah, he is
there's
nuts. I forgot
there's
about him.
5 minutes left in the game. Like the Cavs basically came back 10. He walks in the game, has three like crazy dump offs to their center. The center dunks it 2 times in a row, like over people. And the game was just over at that point. And you watched him walk up to the scores table, like as he's coming off the bench. You could just tell he was about to win the game. He's like, these guys think they're close. I'm about to bust their ass. Watch this.
Well, how old is he? Probably like 24. Yeah, it's insane.
I think about that all the time. It's like, damn, y'all are kids for real.
Do you start to feel old by seeing some of these people go crazy in the league that are so significantly
Yeah,
younger than us?
for sure.
I feel like so recently it was, damn, these people are the same age as us. Now, like now we're the old heads looking back.
Yeah. Do you think when you look at yourself, question I've been asking myself is like, do you think when people look at you and just see you, do they think you're like 29 or like close to 30, or do they think you're younger?
Um, I think personally I've gotten older a lot. Last
They think
night,
you're
actually,
older?
is that crazy for you? Why are you reacting so crazy? I look younger.
I'm
Maybe right
surprised by
now I
that.
got the baby face, so I look like a little more of a baby. You should
But go
see.
on, what were you saying? Oh,
Oh, a kickball last night. One of Caroline's friends all think I'm older for some reason. I don't know if that was like miscommunicated when we first started dating, but one of her friends was like, "How old are you turning? Like 32, 33?" And I was like, "No." She's like, 34? I was like, "No." I was like, "Higher." She's like, 30. She's like, "You're not turning 35." It's like, "No, I'm turning 29." She's like, "Oh."
that's hilarious.
But I don't know. I take that as a compliment. I don't know about you. Do you usually get older or younger?
I don't know. I don't really, I like at work, I get a lot younger, but I think that's just because there's a lot of young people in the office. But I was thinking about that as I was walking down the street because I see people who I'm like, oh, those people are 30 for sure. And then
Hard to tell.
I think about me next to them. I'm like, damn, but I don't think I look that old. Like, and maybe it's just because my perspective always just keeps going up until I'm there, I guess. But I also think like you and I don't dress like I guess I have a Q zip on right now, but typically not wearing a Q zip, and I don't know. I wear cargo pants, and like you have your style. How would you describe your style? Like I think of your style is kind of like biker style, but like, you know,
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the
Midwest.
place. Midwest, skateboard,
Yeah.
streetwear
Yeah. I think
esque.
that, but so like, I don't know, maybe it's because I think the people that I think look 30, maybe they're not taking care of themselves as much. And it is like, just, I get hammered and wear Q zips and tight Lululemon pants and Cole Haan shoes. But who knows?
I think of that more as a type of guy though than the age. I feel like that exists everywhere from 22 to 40 and
No,
even maybe past that. Um, More specifically though, do you feel like you're your age or do you feel like you feel older or younger?
I mean, I feel young, but I think I'm solid enough in who I am that I'm either my age or above, but like I feel young.
When it gets to your birthday, you're like, damn, I'm about to be 29. Like, fuck.
Nah. The only time that starts to happen is when Steph really starts saying that to me, like, oh, you're about to be 30, you're about to be 40. I'm like, chill. How about you?
Yeah, I don't feel that way at all. I feel like I mean, maybe personality wise, I guess I don't even know if that's true. This is more subjective, but I feel younger. Someone we were just talking about this at that bachelor party. I feel like I jam so much into a year, so much life into a year that I feel like I'm getting my money's worth. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I'm not just like
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
so many people that are like, "Fuck, I'm already turning 29 or whatever," like, they're just so attached to the age that they're turning. It's just because they're looking
yeah.
at the clock all day and just watching life
That's
pass
such a
by them.
that's such a good way to explain it. I feel like I'm getting my money's worth in this life.
Yeah, I just thought of that right now, but I do feel like that. That's why I asked you, like, if you how you
Yeah,
feel and we talked about this, I guess, a bit when it was the episode that was on your birthday, but
yeah,
I don't know. I've said the thing jokingly for years, like, I feel like I'm getting better with age, which I do believe is true. I feel like I'm learning so much more. I feel like I'm getting so much closer each year to how I wanna live my life. We talked about the style thing. I My style is gonna continue to evolve, but I think it's stayed somewhat in what my goal has always been. It's just been the affordability aspect of buying the shit that I wanna buy and actually
yeah,
wearing it, and it's funny because I even was looking at photos of when I was in Florida this time last year, and my intention has always been good with what I'd wear, and, like, this varies by what I have in my closet at that moment, but the
yeah,
intention is always good, but the delivery maybe isn't as good. Like, it'll be like a hat that's dope and a shirt that's dope and a pair of pants that are dope, but I wouldn't necessarily put them together, and I could
yeah,
tell I just liked each of those things individually, so I thought I could make an outfit out of it, but in hindsight, I'm like, "Ah, that was kinda trash." But that continues to get better as we get older, so
yeah. I think that's also just like as time goes by, you start to look at some of your fits and you're like, damn. And then in 5 years, you'll be like, oh, this shit's tight. And then you'll wear it again.
I think there's a
From
little
time
bit
to,
of that, but I think we're a little more
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I feel like we always know, and it's going to evolve, of course. And I never am too hard on myself for thinking something's cool in the moment. But you could clearly see times where, like, okay, that was I was trying something out there, and it might have not
yeah.
aged as well as I'd hoped.
Sometimes, like for me, I I do that thing where you're saying like, oh, there's stuff I like, so I just put it together. Sometimes I purposely try to make like to give you an example, I like ugly shoes. I think ugly shoes are cool. So like I buy really to a lot of people ugly shoes, but then
What's an example of that? Like
like
those
even
Keen?
Solomon's I think are kind of an ugly shoe. I think those Keen Jaspers are ugly shoes. The Oakleys that I wear are ugly. Like they're just weird, outrageous shoes.
I was gonna say maybe ugly is not the word, but like obscure, maybe.
Yeah. Um, but then like I've been trying to add more elements to what I'm wearing too. So it's like, okay, you have these obscure or ugly shoes on, and then you have regular pants on, and then like you wear because those shoes are so obscure, they can be different colors than like the stuff you're wearing on the top or something like that. Where before, when I was younger, I was like so matchy. Like if I'm wearing blue up here, I need to have blue on the bottom, like, and like really put together. But I think now, like for me, style has changed, and it probably has to do with Wyatt, honestly, like inspiring me in a way, because Wyatt always has like these crazy pieces that are obscure, but like they're all so dope that he just like throws them together, and like sometimes they make sense. Sometimes to like a person that doesn't know fashion would be like, what is bro wearing right now? And then like to the people that know, they'll be like, oh, that dude is fresh as fuck right now.
Yeah, I feel the same about Wyatt. I feel like we follow a lot of the same accounts, and like the little things I'm
Yeah.
considering buying or the brands that are popping up on my feed, like he'll pull the trigger on. I think the
Yeah.
difference in what you were explaining to like back in the day, or even what I was saying, where the intention was there, but it wasn't
Yeah.
executed well. I think the difference now, and there was a period where I was texting with Steph about this because I was trying to just get rid of
Yeah. Yeah.
my problem with buying, and we've talked about this a lot, is I buy a lot of the same shit and stuff that isn't reusable and things that the quality goes bad quickly. There's the whole fast fashion conversation. We've gone down that rabbit hole before. I think the difference between where I have been and where I'm trying to be is if I clear out my closet out of all the bullshit and then only am able to see stuff that I'd actually want to put on and not have to, swipe through 30 shirts that I never put on. It makes it easy to put like a non-matchy but well put together outfit that may
Yeah.
be obscure to others but is made up of, a few layers that
That
I fuck
shit.
with. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like the evolution of where I've gone and where I'm headed, I think I'm excited about. And I still can go through my closet and clean out a bunch of bullshit. But now I feel like I got some good staples that I feel a
Yeah.
little bit better about being able to put it on without putting too much energy into it.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I have to do that too. Thanks for reminding me. I'm about to go home this weekend, so Steph and I have talked about like I just have way too much shit in my closet, and just bringing a lot of that back to my family's place. Okay, I have a crazy question for you.
All right, let's hear it.
This is another thing that happened in the world. Did you see the note, the supposed suicide note that Jeffrey Epstein left?
Maybe.
I can tell you what it says. So it said, they investigated me for months, found nothing, exclamation, exclamation. So 15-year-old charges resulted. It is a treat to be able to choose the one's time to say goodbye. What you want me to do? Burst out crying? No fun. Not worth it. What are your thoughts? Do you think that's real, first off? Second off, like, I don't know, what comes to mind when you hear that?
I don't know if it's real. I guess it feels like pretty mysterious if it
Yeah.
was. Did it come out in like a court case or like it was online or
Yeah.
like how did it come out?
Yeah, it's been like they released it because they had all those documents put out, you know, the Epstein files released, and there was like a lot of pressure. I didn't even know that there was a suicide note that they were holding on to. Um, but so they dis released it this last week, and supposedly the guy that was in his cell came out then and said, "Oh yeah, I saw him write that the week before he passed, or I saw it in his cell like the week before he passed, or something like that." Which to me, I didn't know he even had a cellmate at any point, and it said like I read something that said he had tried to kill himself like a couple weeks before, and then didn't work, so then he actually did it.
Because he's dead.
That's what they say.
So that's kind of like the argument is he dead and how did it happen? And is this note just supporting the fact that he's dead? And do we believe that it's real?
And there's supposed photos that might be AI, I don't know, but of like him in different countries and stuff with security.
I know I see it's like the whole conversation about him is like odd to me because there's so much like lore and like nuance with the conversation. It's hard to understand what's real and what's fake and who's in the
Yeah.
files and so I don't know. That's kind of a dark rabbit hole, I guess. Like, do you think it's the reason you brought it up is do you think there's some fugazi stuff going on and it
Yeah,
deserves a bigger look? I guess why it came out is also a big question of mine.
yeah,
Like what's the purpose? And the
yeah.
case
I
is
just
being carried on because of all the stuff in those files, but him as a person can't be convicted because he's not alive,
yeah,
supposedly.
I just thought it was like weird. One, I had never heard that he had a suicide note. I think there's just so much weird stuff, and like I think it's crazy that no one has been convicted of anything, and like the only place that I've heard of any convictions is, or even taking people to court is in England with the Prince Andrew. And I thought it was weird timing too, with after the king just came to America, saw Trump, and like, I don't know, I just think it's weird. And yeah. So I just think there's so much lore. And who knows, like you said, what's real, what's not. But yeah, follow
What
up
else?
question.
Hold on,
Oh, go ahead.
just on that note, what I'll say is it doesn't change anything to me. Like there's no part of that that makes me think like, oh, there's a note, like that he must have really done it. Like
Yeah.
that could be just as doctored as all the rest of the stuff in this conversation. So that doesn't point me towards any specific evidence, if that's what you're asking.
So who's worse, P. Diddy or Jeffrey Epstein?
Man, fuck them both. I don't know. I guess it depends on the conviction for each, but I think that there's a rough go for the both of them.
Also, yeah,
Can you
crazy.
separate the art from the artist, man? I don't know.
That one, no.
No. Did you
Okay.
ever watch the Diddy documentary or like the docuseries about how he got his start?
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
Bro, you gotta watch
What?
that.
What's it on?
I think it's on Netflix. It was produced by 50 Cent. You don't remember
Oh,
about all
I
that?
didn't. I remember hearing about it. I didn't watch it. Tell me about it. What's there? What do you find out?
So I actually didn't we didn't finish it because it was a pretty tough watch. But it's one of those documentaries where, and I actually have to tell you about one of the documentary. We can switch gears like slightly and go back to your question after that. But the P Diddy documentary, it's one of those documentaries where they're like in on it and they have all this footage that was done by his crew when like the conviction first started and when he's like first getting calls and he's trying to figure out how he's going to get out of it or if he's going to go to jail. It's all this footage of him in a hotel as he's
Mhm.
talking to lawyers and all this shit. But it goes back and forth between that content when he's in his hotel and then
Mhm.
this like well produced documentary interviewing people and telling his story about the early stages of P. Diddy and how he got to where he is. His like former best friend and right hand man is like one of the main
Mhm.
interviewees. And it's crazy, first of all, like all the shit that he did throughout his time in the come up. We didn't really get to the stage where he was, doing a lot of the stuff that he was convicted of. But one thing that was crazy that I didn't know about is his rise to fame came from he hosted this basketball tournament. Do you know anything about that?
No.
He hosted this basketball tournament and he oversold the capacity by like thousands of people. and there was a stampede of people trying to get into the basketball game, and like 20 people died.
What?
Yeah. And that's like how people first, he was like this big like promoter. I'm hosting this celebrity basketball tournament, and people like got stomped on trying to get into the basketball game, and it was so over capacity. All these people died. He had to go on this public apology tour. I don't think he was ever convicted as it being his fault, but he kind of capitalized off of people knowing him from that incident into producing music videos and making a record label and all that shit.
That's insane.
It's
That
dude, and
is.
in the documentary, it's like showing all the, like the dead people in the gym and like
Oh,
crazy.
damn.
Yeah, super crazy.
Yeah, you'd
But
get a rioting act starting what
inciting,
is it?
inciting a
Inciting
riot.
yeah, inciting a riot nowadays. And second-degree murder or something.
I just thought it was crazy that that's people literally how his close people in his circle built it up. Like he
Yeah.
capitalized off all these people that died. Kind of ended up becoming famous. Just one thing led to another.
Yeah. Crazy. You said that you had another documentary that came to mind when you were thinking about that?
Oh yeah, I think it's called The False Prophet. Hold on, let me look it up so I'm not miss.
I feel like I've heard about this.
So do you know about, or trust me, The False Prophet? Do you know about like the fundamentalist Mormon? Like they follow that Warren Jeffs guy who's in prison
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So in the first documentary, it's about the rise of this Warren Jeffs guy. He like believed in, he was the primary polygamy guy, and he had like 1,000 wives, and they're all underage, and
Yeah.
convinced this whole city, like thousands of people, that he was God, and they all had their little like sub families underneath him. His
Yeah.
story was crazy. He was on the run for like 10 years. Similar to what you said with Epstein, he was just being like photographed like at Disney World and shit, but like the cops couldn't find him, and he just was living his life. He's still alive to this day. He's in prison. People randomly trickled off once he went to prison. At first, he was still kind of running the
Hmm.
church from prison, but people are kind of like, all right, fuck this guy. And however many years go by, fast forward to 2020, this guy, Samuel Bateman, comes back and says, Warren Jeffs told me I'm the new prophet. I believe in all the stuff Warren Jeffs did. People didn't really
Yeah.
believe him at first, but gradually he convinced these people again that he's the new prophet. But this is in like 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he builds up this new church that's a version, same thing, underage wives, bunch of crazy stuff. But he's like buying Rolls Royces and shit, and like all these
Yeah.
expensive jackets. And this woman and her husband moved to wherever this city is in Utah, and over time befriended him and these people, and convinced him that they were creating a documentary on his rise as the prophet, but they actually were like infiltrating the church and slowly getting the
Yeah.
girls to give more information and to get people on their side so that they could build an FBI case to arrest this guy. And
Yeah.
they lived there for like 5 years, and the dude, or the woman's husband, formerly produced music videos and stuff, so he knew all about editing and camera equipment. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
anyway, it's like a insane story. The whole concept of that church is wild, but it's a super interesting perspective because they think they're friends, and they
Hmm.
like convince this guy to do all these interviews, and it's
Yeah.
it's insane.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Me and Caroline powered through it in like one night. I think it's like 4 or 5 episodes or something.
So is the church still going on, or like is he now convicted too?
Yeah, he got sentenced to like 50 years or something. And I think there's some offshoots probably that still exist. I don't know about how intense they are, but yeah,
Yeah.
one of the most mind-blowing parts of it for me, obviously wild regardless, but so crazy that there's people in modern times that are still believing stuff like this, and, like, they live in their own world, bro, like, they have phones and shit, but they're just like, "We don't believe all any of that, we believe this guy's the king, and we do what he says."
Yeah.
So, it's crazy.
Crazy. People don't know when they're joining a cult, even as crazy as it sounds to a lot of people, like it's pretty easily to fall into one. Look at the
Totally.
government.
Look at the government. My mom was watching it, she was texting me, she's like, "Oh, I'm drawing some similarities to these people." He's like, "Yeah, you might be right."
What's that on too?
It's on Netflix.
On Netflix? Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that one. Had somebody else bring that up to me too, saying it was just insane.
Yeah, we just watched it, so it's, like, fresh in my mind, but I highly recommend it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, question for you.
What you
How
got?
often how often do you eat Arby's and listen to Rod Wave?
Ooh, couldn't tell you a single Rod Wave song. That's like a cult following that I somehow have missed. I know some people love that guy, but I'm not saying I
Yeah.
dislike the music, but couldn't tell you a Rod Wave song off the top of my head. It's been a while since I've had Arby's too, but I think a lot of people sleep on Arby's, man. I think Arby's is a pretty solid fast food option. I think their roast beefs are kind of crazy if you think about it, but they taste pretty good. So,
So the
is there
reason I
meant to be an
asked,
association between the two, or it just was like,
yeah. So
what's the
Steph's little
context?
sister and her cousin were in Chicago, and I guess there's this trend right now because they're like, who the fuck eats Arby's? And Rod Wave, I guess, is not cool with the younger generation. And for some reason, they put a correlation together of Rod Wave and Arby's. So their joke was like, "You want to go listen to Rod Wave and get Arby's?"
I'm trying to look up, rifle me off some popular Rod Wave songs. Great
He,
Gatsby, Heart on Ice. Heart
let's
on
see,
Ice, it says his biggest hit song.
the song that the album that I used to listen to was this Ghetto Gospel.
Mm,
This is when I was real sad. Cuban Links featuring Kevin Gates. Abandon. Yeah,
but yeah, I know this song. I don't know if you can even hear my audio, probably not, but
I can, but yeah, but I
he's
just think
Kevin
it's,
Gates-esque.
yeah, I guess. Kevin, but he's like all sad music. Rod Wave is. Kevin Gates is like, I don't know what Kevin Gates does now. All I know is like two phones. I got
I
two.
got two phones.
um, I just think it's crazy, like what what pops off nowadays, just random ass things. Like to give you an example, there's this guy in my office. He was at 270 followers yesterday morning. Let's see what he's at right now. Last time I checked, he was at like 27,000.
Hmm.
Let's see. Just
He had a
popping up.
viral moment.
25,000 followers in 2 days. And he's been posting these videos. He's this redheaded guy and just like basically is making fun of himself in a lot of ways. And it's like him waking up in the morning. He has this disgusting apartment, like showing pieces of that. And then it's like him walking to work, him walking home from work, stopping and getting a drink, and then like getting home, feeding his cats, like throwing a microwave frozen pizza in, eating that, like going to the park and drinking, and then like watching YouTube videos or swiping on Tinder and saying he got 0 likes that day or something like that.
Does he
Um,
like usually post on social media, or this was just a one-off?
he's been posting. He's got 36 posts up, and they're all like basically like 36 days in a row. But for 32 of those days he was posting like him doing a minute for every day of the month of like him just sitting there, not looking at his phone or anything. Um, and then it's the last 5 have switched to these like crazy videos.
Hey, sometimes the stuff pops off that you wouldn't expect to. It's especially funny when it's just everyday stuff like that. Like it seems like
Yeah.
he's probably not. Does he have meta glasses or something? And like, how is he
No,
filming all
no.
this stuff?
It's just like him setting it up, like walking past it basically for half of them. They're hilarious. Like he so the first one that he did of these, which these other videos before had like 100,000 views or something or more, or like 200,000. The first one he does with like filming the day in the life is 873,000. The next one's a million. The one after that's a million. The one after that is 5.3 million. And then this one he posted today is 1.7 million. Just going
Damn.
crazy right now.
So he's gonna be putting in his 2 weeks before you know it.
I mean, I haven't seen him in 2 days. I heard he's already got like, I walked past his team talking and they were like, yeah, he's got all these brands hitting him up right now to start
Damn.
posting. You know, the dude that goes, computer, make this guy
Yeah.
gay and horny. That dude commented on it and was like, this is the part where I step in.
That's funny as shit. Is it like TikTok he's posting on or what?
Where I saw it was Instagram, but I'm sure he's on TikTok too.
Repurposing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go in the direction of something that would make us the stuff that's unexpected that makes us feel like an old head, like the Rod Wave and Arby's thing. I
Yeah.
told Caroline yesterday, there's always a conversation about lingo changing, right? Like there's things that younger generations say that we don't get.
Yeah.
And I was at the driving range before golf yesterday. It was our first night of league. And at Braemar, which is in Edina, most of the Edina high school, I'm assuming, practices there
Yeah.
too. So we're always just surrounded by teenagers.
Yeah.
There's these girls that sit up next to me. They're probably, I want to say 13, 14. And they were like pretty good. Like they had solid swings and were like kind of crushing the ball. And the girl is swinging her driver and she crushed her and she goes, "Oh, that was so T." Like deadpan straight face. And I was like, okay, so this kind of stuff has just made it into the
Yeah.
regular vocab. And maybe this isn't an example of that, but what we were saying, what me and my buddy Gage were saying after I told him that story, like it's crazy how lingo has just become interchangeable. Like it
Well, for sure.
doesn't we've obviously said crazy like we used to say crazy shit. We were kind of going on the list of stuff that we said, but it seems like contextually relevant, at least in the case of that usage. Whereas now it's like we just take one of the terms we say and just like throw it in and
Yeah.
it doesn't have to make sense, but it's just
Just
something we
brain
say.
rot at this point.
100%. It's
Bro,
we're
being
just
around
old heads.
Steph's literally being around Steph's younger cousins and sister and brother, I get it all the time. Like they say just crazy stuff, and then I start copying them because
They
I
say
think
they're
it's
looking for the huzz.
looking for the huzz. Yep. It's really funny when like the youngest cousin who's 10 starts saying stuff. He always says, "Oh, you're chopped, bro," which like I know that one, but every time comes up to, especially every time he sees me, he goes, "Damn, bro, you're chopped," and I'm like, "You know, I can beat you up, right?"
His
So always
high
my
pitched voice.
yeah. The
Yeah, I don't know,
six
man.
seven thing is crazy. I mean, that one's been going on for a minute, but
We're just getting old.
I guess, man. Maybe we are. Maybe when I asked you before if I thought you were old or young, maybe it's just we're old. It's not
Yeah,
even.
that's just what you think. So that's how you're trying to lead the conversation.
Yeah. Um, anything else you want to cover?
I wrote this note down too while you're talking about overnight virality. Do you know who Mark Dowdle is? Have we talked about him on here before? So Mark Dowdle is a buddy of a buddy who played lacrosse at St. Thomas. He's probably like 2 years older than us, and he posts mostly running content. I'm sure you've probably seen him in your algorithm before, like long beard, long hair. He does all these kind of like crazy run feats where or maybe you haven't. I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at is how he's super recently popped off, but very motivational. A guy that I think could maybe be cool to have on here someday if I could get him to come on. But
Yeah.
he does these things called backyard ultra races, which are last man standing format,
Huh?
and it's where you run 4 miles every hour on the hour until there's a last man standing.
Yeah.
So in some cases, I've seen them do them where they go 100 miles. Some I've seen
Yeah.
them go 200 miles. Um,
Damn.
and it's crazy to watch because he always posts the whole series of it on his Instagram account. I think his like wife maybe runs it, but he walks through his preparation. Obviously, if you're running 4 miles in an hour, the faster you run it, the more time you have to replenish once you get back.
Uh-huh.
And he seems to have dialed the system in on, if I run this many miles in a row, or if I run this many loops in a row with this much time to spare, I can come back and like nap for 10 minutes even, and I can eat. And so anyway, he's just been crushing it in that. And they just did this, do you know the brand BPN? It's like Nick Bear, and they have like the Go One More hats. It's like very popular in the running community. You'd maybe know it if you saw it.
What is it?
Um,
VPN?
BPN, they have a lot of supplements too, like the Go One More
I feel
hats. I
like I've
know you'd
heard of that.
recognize if you saw it. But anyway,
But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
they do like an invitational backyard, and there was like a big streaming event for who got selected to do it. Long
Yeah.
story short, Mark got selected and won it probably 2 weeks ago now,
Damn.
and he gained like 90,000 followers in like overnight from winning this race.
Damn.
So I know you don't go on social media like that, but I think it would be a follow that's up your alley because he's insane like we
Yeah.
are, but with a different purpose. And he talks
Yeah.
about his process a lot, and he posts a lot of content that's like he umpires on the side and like washes windows and does all these odd jobs. So it's just been kind of cool to see his transition from
Yeah.
constantly posting content, trying to make it as a sponsored runner, finally getting a little
Mhm.
bit of recognition, and then winning this race, and now kind of seeing him skyrocket after that. So
That's
highly
sick.
recommend tapping in. And I think it would be dope if we got him on here someday. I don't know if he'd be interested or not, but it might be worth a shot.
Gotta ask him. Ask your boy. And we'll get
Shoots a
your other
shot.
boy, Gable Stevens, on, who's also popping off.
I don't want that association under my belt, but it would be cool to have a conversation.
Yeah. No, that's sick though. I'll have to check him out. He sounds cool though.
Modern day Forrest Gump.
Modern day Forrest Gump. Also, when's Gable's first fight? Do you know that?
I don't know if he's got one lined up.
I see
Does he have
him going crazy with the ads right now.
what kind of ads?
Just like supplement stuff and like I don't know, these different health brands are having him do stuff. That John Jones Association, also being a world champ wrestler, helps too. That guy
Yeah,
is
he's definitely got the path.
he is a freak of nature. I'm excited to see his first UFC fight. So
Yeah, I'm sure he'll tear through that division once he's there. I think that's kind of what people expect, but I'm always down to see a new guy come up and a big name to get built in the UFC. So hopefully that works
yeah,
out.
yeah. You got to get his face tatted on you when he gets number one.
I'll add it to the list.
Represent MN.
Present him
All right.
in. Yeah, what
All
else?
right. That's it for me. What about you?
That's all I got. I'm glad I know we took a couple of weeks off from scheduling conflicts, but I'm glad to get this one going, get this one up.
Yes, sir. Well, appreciate you. Thanks for dealing with my wacky questions. I tried to bring some ones that might throw you off a little bit, and hopefully they did.
They definitely did. Hopefully I got the job still.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you.
All right, brother.